What's a Google search that can unexpectedly get you arrested? Adam Savage got a call from the FBI because he sent an email to the wrong recipient. The email referenced thermal detonators, which was a Star Wars prop or something. He thought that the FBI was a prank caller. I think it was Adam calling and leaving a voicemail to a wrong number. That person then reported Adam to the FBI. He mentions it in one of his videos on his tested YouTube channel. But yay, it was about a thermal detonator, and the FBI guy even looked Adam up and realized he was a prop maker. When I was deployed to the Middle East, I was going through a leadership course, and I was given the subject of C4 to do a 15-minute presentation of. I Googled how it's made, how it works, how to make it more efficient, different ways it can be used. It dawned on me that I was looking all this up from an IP address in the Middle East, and I thought for sure I was on some type of watch list. I used to work in a State Department building, and me and my coworkers used to type in the most absurd trigger words we could come up with across the network communication channels, and nothing ever happened. It's never about a single search term. It's the clusters of times and topics that set off the alarm bells. If you just look up how to build a bomb, that will get overlooked. But you look that up, along with bus schedules and event dates, then you're gonna look kinda funky. Shit, depending on the bomb build, you can get pretty much everything short of explosives at a hardware store. Rins 2 mind the story of a dad who found his internet search history and had to explain to his early teenaged son that he needs to stop searching online for young teen girls naked or whatever he was looking up. Can't have been a comfortable conversation for either of them. Lol. I read a similar story from the kid's perspective on here once. Kid had just discovered porn and wanted to find girls. A cue awkward conversation with his dad when the cops came knocking. 3D modeling can get you in trouble when getting references. Once I made a baby centaur, and I needed reference for the baby part. So I have a lot of Google searches along the lines of baby front view, baby side view, and a bunch of similar searches. I think I'm on a list from that, and the model turned out to look like shit too, cause I was new at the time. Just add human to the front next time. They'll know you are an alien that way. I am a game developer, and I guess every one of us has already seen this one. Objects in your game scene are often called actors, or a game object. When an actor is linked to another, and inherits some of its specificities, position in space, etc., it's called a child object, and the object it's linking to becomes the parent. Sometimes you want to use the script on the parent to delete the child actor. So pretty much every time you want to have a deletion applied to a child actor, you are Googling things like how to kill children, how to force parent to destroy children, how to separate child from parent, how to destroy child without affecting parent, how to get a child to destroy other children of the same parent, etc. I'm pretty sure the FBI is watching me as I'm writing this comment. Oftentimes, it's way more complicated than just one factor. An example is if you were a government employee with a top-secret security clearance and started Googling luxury homes to buy in China, you would quite possibly be having some fun conversations with the CIA, NSA, and FBI. I work at a juvenile detention center. I once had a county call trying to place a 25-year-old on sex crimes that were committed when he was 17. I was Googling things like statute of limitations for crim sex and things like that. I may be on a list now. We did not take the adult sex offender man and put him in with our juvenile residents. I don't know why the fuck he even asked in the first place. By buying certain chemicals, or look how you chemical combine certain things. Our house was searched because my brother is a chemical laborant and wanted to mix an anti-mold chemical. After the explanation, they left the house. My writing professor was Googling stuff related to the CIA off-the-grid city in Virginia to research a book he was writing, and got an email from the government within minutes. But then after they vetted his background, they actually invited him to check it out. He went during spring break and joked beforehand that if he never returned, we all know why. A few years ago, there was a bomb set off in Boston using a pressure cooker. Someone on Reddit reported that they didn't understand how to make a bomb out of a pressure cooker, and so he Googled it. Some time later, he got a visit from law enforcement. Luckily, he was chill about it and asked the officers, "Haven't you wondered about how a pressure cooker bomb works?" They just laughed, and it could have easily gone the other way, I think. Generally speaking, you only pique the interest of the feds if you use a certain string of words in the search. My partner has a relative that works for the government in certain classified research for them. If you Google his name and a could of other keywords that I won't go into, then you're going to get a visit by some guys with zero fucking sense of humor. As a note, I've been visited by the SS Secret Service, and they are definitely one of those groups that had no sense of humor, and didn't like mine either. Apparently, if you Google for information about that book Hitler wrote, you get flagged by the government. My brother told me that. I went through his Wikipedia page to click the link to the book to find out the basics out of interest. No one came to arrest me, lol. I told my brother that, and he said a single search isn't going to get you flagged. You have to search a lot of things. I was once working with a text editor software library that stores text in a tree structure, i.e., where each bit of text can be a parent or child of other text. The library makes regular passes over the text as you type to convert it from the editor representation into its own internal representation, which allows for things like formatting text as bold, for instance. Processing an element during that conversion step is called consumption. Anyway, long story short, I once typed "consume children" into Google with no context. My boyfriend and I play a lot of RPG games, including one called Delta Green. Because of how the game works, you need to understand how certain weapons work. So I tend to look up a lot of weaponry online. I feel like this makes me look like some kind of crazy person, but really, I'm just playing pretend FBI agent fighting aliens. My last few searches were how to make mustard gas, a laundry detergent cost, drain cleaner cost, target stores near me just in case I'm not planning a terrorist attack. I was just curious on how quickly someone can make mustard gas with the right knowledge. I'm definitely on some watch list. Now with the amount of times I've searched something like this up, lol. Honestly, my search history is almost always true crime related. Law, the government and different systems. Age of consent in other countries. Different type of medication that may kill a person depending on the dosage. I look up some that I hear about being used in a case so I can understand how it affects the body. Dude I played a game with had a list of modded weapons written on a piece of paper to add to the server. He left it at his work, which was a school. FBI came to his work and searched. His Google search was guns for this specific video games along with mods. He was in a Discord call when it all happened. We thought he was going to get booked. He was cleared a few days later. But damn. The fun thing is none of this ends you up on a government watch list. Google starts a file on you and collects additional information. If it seems like you'll be useful for some local Google Black Ops, someone messages you with instructions and proof of your history. They tell you if you don't cooperate, then the list will be turned over to the government. Why do you think that cyber forensics and police aren't immediately alerted when some gunman or bomb maker do their searches? It's always some time after when they are searching their devices. Google keeps this person in their back pocket just in case they need them to go Task Force X on someone else.